Palworld has blown up lately for a number of different reasons. First of all, it's the Pokemon killer, or it's Pokemon with guns, or it's Ark Survival but it's Zelda, or it's Ark, Zelda, and Pokemon all at the same time. Whatever it is, I kind of wanted to check it out and see for myself, because last time we had a Pokemon killer, being Yokai Watch, it wasn't really a Pokemon killer. It was more so just a game that played like Pokemon and that everybody said would eventually replace it because Pokemon was stuck in the past. Now, all my thoughts and feelings about Pokemon aside, did I think Palworld was gonna be the game to do it? No, not really. Does it look good? Yeah, it looks okay. Does it look fun? Yes. I'm not really interested in the whole Pokemon with guns thing. I feel like there's probably a bit too much going on there, but regardless, I wanted to kind of jump into Palworld and see what it was all about. As a disclaimer, I've played a lot of Pokemon, I've played a bit of Breath of the Wild, and I've played none of Ark, but I've seen gameplay of both, so hey, take this entire video with a grain of salt as I delve into my thoughts and feelings about Palworld. So to get my nitpicks out of the way, there were a few things that I encountered that I didn't actually like very much. And before I get flack for this, you can apparently change them in the settings, but I just really wanted to play the game as itself for a while before I made any changes. I guess kind of like the game how it was intended to be played. But again, like if the creator comes out and says, no, you can actually play this however, then I'll take the bullet on this one and I was wrong. And remember, these are my personal gripes. This is not an overarching thing that I think everybody should be annoyed about. This is just my opinion. So to start off with, I wasn't a big fan that when you died, you dropped all your loot. It's a massive pet peeve of mine in games. I know it adds stress and pressure to the story, but I'm anxious a lot in real life anyways, and I like to keep it to a minimum in my games. There are some games I'm willing to be anxious for, but losing all my stuff in a game like Palworld or Minecraft is just stress upon stress that I would rather not have. Another thing that annoys me that was unfortunately tied together with losing my stuff was when you freeze to death at night. It adds realism, it's quite good, but I felt like the first full Palworld day that I was playing, it was really difficult to try get used to the world because I had lost my stuff and I didn't know if it was going to despawn, so I thought I'd best run out. But oh no, you are actually freezing to death. I thought the cold would just make you slower or something, but no, you die. Looking back, it's not that big of a pet peeve. I just think that combined with the fact that I lost all my stuff and I was worried that it was going to despawn really kind of brought the game down and stressed me out, but hey, that's just me. And finally, my biggest gripe was definitely the weight limit. I'm not a big fan of how weight limit goes in some games, and I'd rather not have it, but usually they're bearable. But in this game, you just go so slow. I know, added realism, and again, it's just something I personally do not like. But with all my criticisms out the way, I can say that I enjoyed Palworld. I thought it was pretty good. When you first get Palworld, you can kind of expect what you're getting into. You know, the internet says that it's Pokemon, Ark, and Zelda all at the same time. So whether if you've played those games or not, you can kind of see what you're about to do. So getting started is not that hard, besides freezing to death at night and being slowed down to a crawl. Mining rocks and cutting down trees is easy enough. It's thankfully not that much of a tedious task. Kind of reminded me of Minecraft in a way, where you have your resources all around you and you don't have to go too far out of your comfort zone to get everything sorted. This makes setting up your first base actually quite easy. You can even get your floors down and your walls up as quickly as probably day 2 or day 3. Now, I'm naturally a slower player at games, for reasons being that I'm just naturally more slow, but then sometimes I like to be extra slow and really take my time. With Palworld, I tried to go at a very consistent playing pace, and I think I got my base going around day 4, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Now, my base is not a spectacular one. It is literally floors and walls and stuff in it. I know people who have built massive forts, who have apparently built castles. That just wasn't my style. I just wanted like a house and somewhere that my pseudo Pokemon could sleep. Okay, we'll talk about the elephant in the room. So yes, the PAL looked like Pokemon. It was inescapable. With the internet saying that it was basically a Pokemon killer, that led a lot of people to show that this PAL looks like Piplup, this one looks like Lycanroc, this one, and so on and so forth. So naturally, as I was playing the game, I was not calling the PALs by their actual names. I was calling them by what Pokemon I thought they looked like. So I guess I'm part of the problem. And then that one PAL that I named after one of my dogs. Hi, Pixie. It's probably because any cartoonish animal that looks kind of like a dog but is purple with spikes and wings, people would immediately chalk that down to being a Pokemon. I mean, Pokemon is so well known throughout the entire world that you see anything that could be an animal but looks more mythic, most people might think it'd be a Pokemon. So it's really easy to see why people jump to that conclusion anyways, and I mean, hey, it probably is just another Pokemon clone, and that's fine. It takes inspiration heavily from Breath of the Wild as well, because you can practically pick up Sheikah slates and there's shrines everywhere. It probably takes stuff from Ark as well, but as I stated, I haven't really played Ark, therefore I don't really know. But should this enhance or hinder the game's enjoyment? No. The only thing that could enhance or hinder the game's enjoyment was how the PAL functioned anyways. And with the way that the PAL function, it's really good. The PAL can help out with things like foraging for supplies, and some are just naturally good at attacking. And that really adds to the enjoyment, because if you're playing a game and you have a base and you have things to help you out, why would you not want your PAL to stand guard and fight for you while you're away vast landscapes exploring? It adds a lot more to the gameplay, and I'd say nothing really hinders it. There are thugs in this game that are kind of like your antagonist, you know, your Team Rockets, your Team Stars, your Team Flares, and so on. They are very annoying, but somewhat easy to avoid. For me personally, I'm also not a fan of these people. While they are a very good challenge and way to level up your PAL, it gets really annoying when you're just traveling around the land and they come out of nowhere and they can easily kill you because of how high leveled they are. But I would sooner keep them in the game, because once you feel ready to fight them, it can be very rewarding. All in all, I did enjoy Palworld. And this might be because I haven't played a lot of Ark, but I was drawing more comparisons to Pixelmon, and because of that, I was slightly more immersed and enjoyed it. Again, this could be because I don't have a ton of hours in the game. Is it worth £20 though? Not really. I feel like the game is very catch pals, build a base, keep building upon the base, that it didn't offer too much substance. But that does not hinder its enjoyment in the slightest. If you're interested in Ark, the exploration of Breath of the Wild, the Pokemon mechanics, and then I suppose the exploration of Scarlet and Violet to be precise, this is absolutely your game. And if you're like me and you see a bit more of Minecraft in it than Ark, then even so, you will very much enjoy this game. It's just not a Pokemon killer. And I kind of wish that these games would stop being pitted against each other. Though I guess because of this striking resemblance, it's gonna be inevitable. But regardless on whether if you're on the side that Pokemon is gonna die relatively soon and Palworld will succeed, or Palworld is just another yokai watch waiting to explode, you will enjoy this game if you enjoyed all the other games that it takes inspiration from. Just know that it's not all Pokemon with guns. Now that I have a little bit of more free time within my schedule, I will be playing a bit more of Palworld to see how much I enjoy it. And maybe if my views change drastically, I'll make another video. But if not, then just assume that I simply enjoy this game, and it's kind of fun. When doing research for Palworld, I found out that a lot of people were so illusioned by the fact that it was Pokemon with guns that they were surprised that it wasn't actually the core gameplay. I thought that was really interesting. So let me know what you thought of Palworld in the comments below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you feel like it, and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon.